Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating blueprint for modernizing the most sensitive, high-stakes environments on the planet. We are talking about data centers, manufacturing floors, and power systems. Literally the exact physical infrastructure that simply cannot fail. We're going to be looking directly at Riyadah AI Solutions. They're an Egyptian technology integrator that has engineered a highly specific approach to artificial intelligence. You see, they aren't treating AI as just some shiny new software toy. They're treating it as absolute, mission-critical operational intelligence. To see exactly how they pull this off, we've broken today's explainer down into 5 key areas. We'll start with intelligence for critical infrastructure, move through the AI technology stack, explore sector-specific AI applications, break down the 3-phase integration process, and finally wrap up with enterprise governance and security. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Intelligence for Critical Infrastructure, focusing on foundation over buzzwords.
Now, we've all seen the headlines, right? Generic, retrofitted AI failing spectacularly when it's forced into high-stakes industrial settings. I mean, you can't just slop a standard chatbot onto a power grid and hope for the best. Riyadah avoids this entirely because of one core thesis, and it's this. Artificial intelligence is only as valuable as the operational understanding behind it. Their models are validated against real operational technology data, not just synthetic lab benchmarks. These aren't a bunch of software developers trying to learn industrial operations on the fly. They're seasoned engineers applying machine learning to the exact operational problems they intimately understand from the ground up.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where that operational understanding actually comes from. 15 years. That is a decade and a half of hardcore infrastructure engineering. Over those 15-plus years, they've delivered more than 500 projects. We're talking about the design and operation of Tier 3 and Tier 4 data centers all across the MENA region. So this isn't just theoretical to them. It's practically baked right into their DNA.
Moving right along to Section 2, the AI technology stack, engineered for operational problems.
Let me be absolutely clear about something. What we're talking about here is not a vendor resale program. This is a rigorous, proprietary stack built on 5 core pillars. First, it starts with eyes on the floor, using visual AI to catch defects right there on the production line. Next, predictive AI acts as kind of the central nervous system, detecting anomalies in continuous telemetry so it can catch equipment failure before it actually happens. Third is generative AI for unlocking hidden enterprise knowledge. Fourth, we have intelligent automation to orchestrate those really complex operational processes. And finally, AI-powered BI, which turns raw data into actionable strategic operational analytics. It spans everything from edge-deployed vision models all the way to large language models running your backend.
Now, within that generative AI pillar, Riyadah utilizes something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. The best way to think of RAG is like a hyper-intelligent, highly cleared corporate librarian. It connects a powerful language model exclusively to your private, enterprise-controlled databases. What this means is you can ask incredibly complex questions about your own engineering drawings, your maintenance logs, or standard operating procedures. You can do it in natural language, in both Arabic and English, and the AI provides highly accurate answers based purely on your proprietary operational data. And the best part? It does this without ever sending your sensitive information out to the public internet. How this technology is actually deployed depends entirely on the physical reality of the problem you're trying to solve. So for a factory floor that's looking for manufacturing defects, Riyadah deploys edge inference. This runs locally, right there at the machine, and it's completely network independent. It makes instant decisions in under 100 milliseconds. That's literally faster than the blink of a human eye, so it never slows down the production line. Compare that to their on-prem LLMs. Those sit deep within secure enterprise environments or private clouds, quietly chewing through vast amounts of data to provide high-level operational intelligence straight to the C-suite.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 3, sector-specific AI applications across mission-critical arenas.
This is where we take all that abstract technology and really bring it to life in the real world. And the sheer scale of the return on investment here is staggering. We are not just talking about marginal gains. In manufacturing, by using predictive maintenance to ingest vibration spectra and thermal signatures, Riyadah actually reduces unplanned downtime by 35 to 60%. Let that sink in. Over in the data center, their thermal AI dynamically models heat loads and adjusts the cooling in real time. That yields an 18 to 28% reduction in cooling energy. These are hard, undeniable operational metrics that translate directly to massive financial returns.
And then, of course, there are the absolute no-fail applications. Consider power system health.
A UPS failure in a data center is completely catastrophic. Riyadah continuously models the state of health across the entire power chain. They track everything, from battery internal resistance right down to thermal envelope deviations. Because they have this deep, first principles electrical engineering expertise, they can detect failure precursors 30 to 90 days in advance. Their target, 0 undetected critical faults. 0. They're catching these hidden signals that generic monitoring platforms entirely miss.
Which brings us to Section 4, the three-phase integration process, going from complexity to intelligence.
Now, for any C-suite viewers out there, this is the part where you can probably breathe a huge sigh of relief. AI implementation usually fails because it causes massive disruptions to ongoing operations. Riyadah prevents this completely with a highly structured, engineering-led rollout. Phase 1 is a deep operational discovery to map out your data and assess readiness. Phase 2 is building and integrating the models through a carefully staged deployment. So the crucial point is their absolute genius safeguard, mandatory shadow mode validation. This means the AI watches and proves its accuracy quietly in the background before autonomous control is ever enabled. Finally, Phase 3 is continuous performance management, adapting right alongside your environment as it evolves.
And because of this highly rigorous approach, you're not going to find some generic list price for their services. Every single facility is fundamentally different. That's exactly why every engagement starts with an engineering-led AI readiness assessment that spans 3 to 6 weeks. It's a true operational data audit, not just some flashy sales presentation. They scope the pricing based on the actual, ground truth operational reality of your specific environment.
Finally, we reach Section 5, Enterprise Governance and Security, the secure ecosystem. Look, if you're an operations lead or a CIO, this right here is the ultimate deal breaker. It honestly does not matter how smart the AI is if it ends up exposing your proprietary data or, worse, requires you to rip out millions of dollars of existing infrastructure. But Riyadah uses an integration-first architecture. They connect natively to your existing operational tech, your facility systems, and your enterprise IT. Whether you're running Modbus out on the factory floor, Schneider EcoStruxure in the data center, or SAP S/4HANA in the back office, they integrate bidirectionally. There are absolutely no expensive rip-and-replace overhauls required. The intelligence simply layers directly into what you already own.
And they wrap all of this up in absolutely ironclad security guarantees. The models are deployed entirely within your client-controlled infrastructure. 0 operational data ever leaves the environment, none. For defense, critical infrastructure, and highly regulated sectors, they even offer fully air-gaps deployments. Everything is ISO 27001 aligned and TIA 94D compliant. They ensure total data sovereignty, period.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Right now, every single sensor, every SCADA log, every piece of telemetry in your facility is broadcasting a hidden signal. Are you ready to stop relying on generic bolt-on software and instead let infrastructure-native AI turn that signal into your greatest operational advantage? The intelligence is already buried right there in your facility. You just need the right engineering to extract it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.